name is Iver van der Zand. We present SAP Belux for analytics from a content perspective. So talking about the techniques and the solutions that we offer. And basically, if we talk about business analytics, if we talk about business intelligence, we basically talk about insight. People want to know a certain KPI. They want to have full insight in the performance of a process, of a department, or how the company is doing. And basically, insight is if we would try to answer the question that you see below on your screen: what company makes the most car tires in the world? If I ask that question to customers or to people surrounding me, a lot of people come up with the obvious answers like, well, that's probably Pirelli, or that might be Michelin, or that might be Continental, or somebody else. And strange enough, the answer is it is Lego, and that's basically everything I try to explain with insight. Insight is about agreeing on definitions of data, understanding throughout your whole company who is using what kind of definition, what kind of metadata, and ensuring that everybody within your company talks the same language when it comes to business intelligence or business analytics. And it means that we need to think about a central place where you manage what we call governance and metadata for all your users, whether they look at dashboards, whether they look at detailed lists about performance, whether they work with self-service techniques to quickly create analysis and structures themselves. And so it's extremely important, and I think it's one of the very strong points that the SAP Business Intelligence Suite embeds. What you see on the screen for the moment is that if I talk to customers, which I do every single day, regarding their need for insight, then people typically mention a few things. First of all, on the left-hand side, you see that people just want to know, how am I doing? What is my KPI? What's the value of that? How is it today compared to the same period last year? How is it evolving? What's my stock level or attrition rate? Typically generated by a dashboard or a report. And we call that area Enterprise Business Intelligence. It's something that people already do for at least 25 years. Techniques using like data warehousing, for example. It are things that people are doing today, and I bet everyone it's a need that companies have the next 50 years. People want to know how they are doing. However, the same customers have already for I would say 2 years two additional needs. And one of them is what we typically call as agile visualization, meaning that on top of the need to understand how am I doing, business users, and I emphasize on the word business users, more and more are looking for solutions that are allow them to relatively autonomously, very simple, very focused, and very lightweighted, start with business intelligence themselves. If I be very direct, business users do not want to be number 27 in line with their IT or competence center departments asking for a new report. They want to start with business intelligence themselves very quickly, quickly combining corporate data with data that they access via the web or receive from purchasers or suppliers via their email. That is what we call agile visualization or self-service business intelligence. It's a need that comes on top of the existing need for insights. A second need that we see business users more and more having is the need for advanced analytics. And what am I trying to explain with that is that where with business intelligence and enterprise BI, people typically answer questions like what happened, what is my stock level, what is my attrition rate, how does it compare this year to last year, and people use OLAP techniques to look at why did things happen. A new trend that we see marked in green is the advanced analytics, that more and more business users also like to have answers. What's the best that could happen? Yeah, and scenario handling, for example, or simulation. That is a need that is beyond planning. Yeah, planning and forecasting is projecting, but advanced analytics, the green area, is an area where business users more and more want to predict what could happen. Yeah, I'm a retailer. I'm looking online at my performance, my shop performance. Yeah, imagine that the next 3 weeks the weather is getting better. What might be the impact on my sales revenue? Well, if we reflect this in how the current analytics offering from SAP is structured, then we see these trends coming back in the offering that we bring to the market today, which is all comes together in the SAP Business Intelligence Suite, yeah, today in version 4.2. Well, if I categorize that suite, then you see in the green area a part of the suite that typically covers the need to get insight. Yeah, the green area, the Enterprise Business Intelligence area of the Business Intelligence Suite, helps you as a customer to get reports or dashboarding and give you insight in the performance of your company, department, or KPI. In the orange area, which is also included in our Business Intelligence Suite, it allows business users to interact seamlessly with data themselves. Yeah? The orange area allows business users to both connect to corporate data that you provide to your end users and combine that with data that they, for example, find on the web or receive in emails or get from external sources. In the blue area, you see the area of components that covers the predictive modeling, the looking forward. The full suite is surrounded by a number of I would say domains that I'd like to highlight right now. On the bottom end, you see over here where I have my mouse hovered, is that we more or less are open to any data source. Yeah, so the current Business Intelligence Suite allows for connectivity to all the well-known database formats, whether it's Oracle or SQL Server or Teradata. We have native connections to that. We can connect to various varieties of OLAP cubes, anything that is Excel, CSV, text formats, whatever, we have connections to that. But we also have connections to more exotic techniques like Hadoop or Spark clusters, and of course the in-memory platforms where SAP HANA is one of them. Yeah, so I dare to say that the current Business Intelligence Suite offering is relatively agnostic to the sources that you like to use. Yeah, even web services and things like that. Throughout the whole suite, we provide collaboration techniques, meaning that people can comment on the things that you generate from within the SAP Business Analytics solution. So what I can do is, and we will probably have a look at that, if I open up a dashboard and I see certain things that I don't like and I want to share that with my manager, I can comment on that dashboard, send a comment to my manager and say, well, hey, I think you need to have a look at that specific area because we are going in the wrong direction over there. Yeah? So that's a very powerful feature in the suite. Anything in the suite, whether we do reporting or dashboarding, or we talk about self-service business intelligence, is mobile ready, meaning that we can, the suite comes with a mobile platform, it's embedded, and if you want to publish or push your information towards an Android, Apple, or Windows mobile device, that is no issue at all. The full suite is also cloud ready, meaning that if you are interested in working in the cloud, whether it's an on-premise cloud, whether it's a public cloud, or whether it's a hybrid cloud, anything within the current SAP offering is cloud ready. And you can also, for example, mix it. Yeah? If you are interested to run the dashboarding section on-premise and combine that with the self-service section running in the cloud, that can perfectly be done. I think the main topic that I'd like to emphasize on is that I'm doing 25 years of business intelligence. I've seen almost all the flavors in the market, and I dare to say that SAP is the single provider that respects the mechanism of trusted data discovery throughout the whole suite. And that's a very complex sentence, but what I basically try to say is that through the whole suite, we have one single place where we manage metadata definitions, authorizations, and security. Yeah, in one single place we can say Mr. Janssen is allowed to have a look at financial, HR, and logistics data. Mr. Collinet is only allowed to see financials. Excuse me, could you please mute yourself? *6.
Hello?
Yeah, could you please mute yourself? Many thanks. *6. In one single place we can manage authorizations and saying, well, this person can see financial, logistics and HR data and sees those data variations on his dashboards or reports or self-service activities, and somebody else can only see the logistics data, and as a result he won't even see the sections on HR on his dashboard. Yeah, so I think that's a very, very powerful feature, and I dare to say that we are one of the few that really respects that mechanism in the market. Well, maybe this is a good opportunity to show you a little bit on what the current platform has to offer. The things that we are looking at is somebody who is going to access his managed dashboard, has a look at the different trends of the data that has been provided to this person, and at a certain moment, and I will show you two scenarios that work over there, this person sees certain things on his dashboards and wants to have more detailed insights, and I will show you two possibilities that this person has to go into more detail or to work and blend with the data. So what I'm doing right now, I'm skipping to the portal section of my business intelligence environment. I have to log in. If you use single sign-on in your company, then the login has only been once, of course. I haven't set this up for the moment. So what you see over here is the portal of the business intelligence suite of SAP that comes with the product. It is a portal like you know most portals are. Yeah, so I have my most recently used sections. I have my favorites, all those things. if there are customers on the line that are working with Microsoft SharePoint, I have a lot of customers who do that. If you prefer to use SharePoint as your portal, as landing page for your business intelligence environment, you can do that. Yeah. So imagine that I'm a bank director, and I open up my portal, whether I'm on my mobile device or as I do right now via my laptop. I could, for example, have a look at my dashboard, and what is opening right now is a very simple dashboard that I created that gives me some insight in how my local subsidiary of a bank, and this is an example of a bank where we all take our money from every single day, how am I doing? So this person can quickly scroll through his data. What you see for the moment, it's fully HTML5 driven, meaning that you have one single development for either a desktop or a mobile device, and I have different sections on my dashboard that provide me the information that I'm interested in. I can, for example, tick the profit before tax button and see the details over there. You see it popping up over here below. I have some functionality in terms that I can filter the data if I want, and focus a little bit. It all depends, of course, on how you develop the report. Well, imagine that what I see right now is of interest to me, and I want to have a little bit more detailed insight. Well, currently I'm in a managed dashboard, and as you can see over here, I build in a small link that brings me to the accompanying detailed report. Yeah, so this is the same data that brings me to the reporting section of our BI suite. You see the same data over here, and one of the things that I'd like to show you, before we talk about this report, if you can just focus on this number, you see 4 billion over here. If I go back to my dashboard, I would, for example, select a specific selection, the last 3 months for the retailing sector, which brings me a revenue of 503. If I again would tick the detailed report, you see that the query, if we talk a little bit more technical, is being parsed because I again see this number over here. And this allows me, this is the reporting section of the BI suite. This allows me to have a look at the data in more detail, because over here, for example, I have a second tab. It's just a sample report that I show you that allows me to go a bit more in detail. I'm for the moment in in reading mode. If I'd like to drill and get even more detail on this, I just tick the drill button, and I could, for example, go in a bit more detail than city and go to even the branch level. Yeah, so this is how quickly and easily I can make an integrated view of a managed dashboard that you see over here. Excuse me, I misticked. A managed dashboard with an overview that you could, for example, provide to your tactical and strategic management in your company, and allowing via a single click to go to a more detailed report that again you can print, you can share it, you can export it to Excel, or you can republish it to the portal. For example, if I just right click over here, if I go in design mode and I right click over here and say, well, I'd like to extend this report with my own little analysis, I just right click. Yeah, I go to the different components or objects that are offered to me, and just control click them and drag them to the canvas, and I created a third tab in my report that I can republish back to my portal if I wish. Yeah. So this is a little overview of somebody who starts from a managed dashboard and likes to bring this to a more detailed version. If I show you another example, then one of the things, and I again start from a managed dashboard, is something like this. Over here I use the same technique of managed dashboard. This is one that focuses on a financial officer in a company whose name is John Smith. And John again needs to log in. Again, if you use single sign-on, it's a one-time exercise. And this could be, for example, the landing page of this person. Again, a managed dashboard. And what I'd like to emphasize on is that a lot of people think that dashboards can only handle summarized data. That's not correct. Dashboard can have all detailed data, even at transaction level, in the dashboard. The only thing is that dashboards are per definition on consolidated strategic and tactical level, yeah, like you see over here. So this dashboard again is an example that I created for you, where I can, as a user, make selections in sample data in specific product types that I'm interested in, or I could select a specific month. Yeah, and what you see over here is that the dashboard gives me two big sections with revenue related information and expense related information, and some subsets that are derived from that. In a dashboard you can perfectly use threshold indicators. Yeah, so you see me doing this over here with the red and the green buttons, where I can say, well, this metric is trending up or trending down. I can ask for a bit of detail. So if I tick the detailed tab, I get an overview of how the data is evolving. I can hover that data and close the view down. And what I can do, I can go in my first level of detail. So imagine that I'm interested in how my profit and loss is evolving. I just tick the tab, and this brings me to a first lower level. As you can see, our dashboarding capabilities allow for being multi-tabular. You see the tabs that I created with all the different sections on top. And again, I can hover the data. You can bring on a laptop on your left hand side. You can put in additional information that you want to share with your users, or make links to documents or open documents, whatever you want. And I just show you a few of the examples that we can easily do. So this is, for example, if I take the headcount, you can see that our solution is very, very advanced in terms of, for example, geospatial information. So I've made a little bit of the data, I plotted on a geomap, and if you focus on the below hand data, if I tick one of the continents, you see that the data below goes with me. I can zoom in and zoom out and focus on another area, and you see the low hand data joining with me. Well, another example that I brought in is, for example, if I tick the customer lines returns, again you see over here in this set of sample data some performance, actual budget versus a status indicator. And what you can easily do is offer your end users to, I would say, toggle a bit with the data and change, for example, the way that they look at the data. So you can offer your end users to say, well, I want to have a look at it via bar chart, or I would be interested to study this data on a wader chart, and at any moment they can print this data, export it to PDF, or even bring it to a self-service area, where I will show you an example from later on. The revenue and margin section over here shows you again an example that I made with geospatial, and quite interesting is this section, which I mentioned as order income. Again, a subsection of the overall dashboard, which shows some typically KPIs. And what you see over here is that I typed in this little analysis button, and if your end user would tick that, it allows the end user to play a little bit with the data that currently is available. This is a very simple dashboard, yeah, that is available in the dashboard. So your end user could, for example, say, well, I want to have a split by half here, and he or she can just drag and drop the data in, and you see that there is some interactivity in the dashboard that you can provide through your end user. Well, imagine in our little role play that the person using this dashboard would say, well, this is not enough for me. I want to go more in detail, and I'd like to, I would say, combine this with data that I received in an email or that I received from a supplier or a vendor that I found on the web. Then we could allow our user to go into the self-service area of the Business Intelligence Suite, which looks as follows. So over here you see that I created an export button, and you see that my end user can export this data to various sections, and on the top you see one of the sections from the SAP Business Intelligence Suite that is specifically meant for self-service. And I've quickly done that already up front, and if I now toggle to that section, that would bring me over here, where you see again the data that we just discussed, which I enriched a little bit. I quickly created some additional hierarchies. I brought in some P&L information, and this brings me to a section in the self-service area, which basically allows me to blend our corporate data that we have in, for example, data warehouse, and that we share with our end users. It allows me to bring in, to quickly combine that with data that I get externally. And if I just would show you how that could work, is that over here you see that I am able to combine the data. So this is my corporate governed data, and I could, for example, quickly say I'd like to add a new data set and bring in some data that I have in an Excel. Over here I have some data that comes from Reuters, and that says something about the market growth. It's just a very simple Excel. Well, if I take that in, yeah, you see that the data set is now available on my top hand right hand side, and I can easily for example say, well, I'd like to combine that data, and you see that it finds 57% of the data is linkable. I just click it, and now you would see that I also have over here, it will pop up. You see that I now also have my market growth potential. If I just over here it is, yeah, you see that figure. I now just used an external file that I quickly joined with my corporate data, and if I would further like to analyze and use that data, I could go to the Visualize tab, and I made already some visualizations over here. So this is the self-service area. If I quickly talk you through that, it offers your end users various bar, column and stack bar charts, also with 2 y-axes. There are line and area charts available over here. People can plot data on pies or donuts, even on 3D. If you have geodata in your data set, you can easily bring it to geo maps or SW maps, if you like. I have scatters and bubbles. Very powerful is the fact that I can quickly create heat and tree maps. Yeah, so heat maps are used quite intensely to do, for example, white spot analysis. If I want to make lists via cross tabs, I can do that, or if I want to highlight metrics, KPIs via numeric points, I have the numeric point tab, and over here you see a number of, I would say, different tabs. Well, how does the self-service section work? I just added the Reuters data, and I tick the plus button, and I say, well, over here I have my measures, so I'd like to combine my, for example, forecast accuracy with my new data set that I just brought in. Let me have a look. I brought it, here it is. Yeah, let me put it on. I can put it on a column chart with two y-axes and say, well, when I have that information with per country, and over here you see how I just create in 2 minutes a combination of first forecast accuracy data that I got from my dashboard where we started with, and I combined it with a little Excel file that I got from outside, which shows me the market growth. Yeah. So this is how quickly self-service in the BI suite of SAP works. This is just two examples where somebody who worked from a high-level managed dashboard went into detail, first via a report, and second, like you see on the screen right now, via a self-service section. Well, this person could easily and very quickly create his own little dashboard. Yeah? So if I tick the compose button, you see that I already created my dashboard myself. So this is an example which you can easily do. I prepared a little data up front, and the end users, if I tick the preview button, can easily, 1 second please, can easily create and navigate through the data. So at any point, so these are just a few visualizations that I created quickly for myself. At any moment, a user could, for example, tick the explore button and say, well, I'm interested in this little section. Can you please filter this section or drill down to this section? And you see now it automatically filters. Yeah. Imagine that I want to start to create my own dashboard. I could say, well, I untick the preview button and I 1 second please, and I say, well, I'd like to create my own little story based on my corporate data. I could say, well, this is a sample. I create my own little, and you see that I start from a blank page. If I over here I have a number of analyses that I quickly created myself, so I can just drag and drop these analyses to my canvas. Well, let's use the one that we just created together. So this was the analysis that we just created together. Yeah, very powerful is that any data component that I have available in my data set, I can use that as an interactive filter. So I bring that to my canvas too, and I maybe would like to inform my users about some notification or some information I'd like to share. So I just drag and drop a little, I would say, text button and say, well, dear user, I'd like to ask your attention to this section, and I could, when finalized, preview this, and this is how you create your own little dashboard in just a few seconds. People can quickly scroll down to the data that they are interested in. Hope that here you go. And have a focus on that. Again, your end user can tick it and say, well, this is of interest. I'd like to more focus on that section, and filter it. And in the end, I update that, and in the end, this person can easily tick the share button and bring the result of the data back to the launch pad where we all started, which is this section of the Business Intelligence Suite. So I hope you got a clear idea. So we started from a corporate dashboard. So for example, one like this, and we zoomed into data, and we blended a little bit of data that we got from externally, and we also looked at a managed report. And I think this is a very powerful section. All the data is governed. I can only see the data that I'm entitled to see, or see the sections on a dashboard that I'm entitled to see. And this is how easy I would say the current business intelligence offering of SAP work. Yeah. So if I go back to the slides, so this is a little slide about the self-service component that I just showed you, where I made a small analogy to Mr. Meus, who is a famous cook on telly. And if you watch carefully to what I did, then you would notice that the way that Mr. Meus works in his kitchen is a little bit the same way as I worked in self-service business intelligence. Yeah, I connected to the data, the corporate data, and I enriched it with bringing in some Reuters data. We quickly create a few analysis and we share that back to the portal.